Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Taufan Rizakbar, NRP 05211942000004. And then there is my friend Nafrendra, NRP 0012, and Rafi with NRP 0017. Today we will explain a presentation about the unified process versus spiral development.
So the first model that we're going to presentate is the spiral model. Spiral model is a risk-driven software process framework that integrates risk management and incremental development. The process was shown as a spiral rather than a sequence of activity with some backtracking from one activity to another. Each loop in the spiral represents a phase of the software process. A risk-driven subsetting of the spiral model steps allow the model to accommodate any appropriate mixture of specification-oriented project, prototype-oriented project, simulation-oriented project, automatic transformation-oriented project, and also other projects that use another approach of the software development. Spiral model phase. The spiral model process is a repeatable phase. Some lecturers said it is a sector, as it can go indefinitely until project completed. A phase is, as the name suggests, a stage in a series of events. Spiral model phase keep repeated until the project end. The phase consists of planning, objective setting, risk assessment, development and validation. Here are the example of spiral model phase. Spiral model pros and cons. The pros are a spiral model allows for extensive use of prototype. Spiral model risk evaluation is a proper. Changing requirement can be accommodated. Development can be divided into smaller parts. Risky part can be developed early. Has control towards all the phases of development. Meanwhile, the cons are management and process more complex, end of the project hard to predict in earlier stage, spiral may go indefinitely, large number of intermediate stage require many documentation, and expensive for a small project. When and why using a spiral model? So, spiral model used when the project is a large, needs of continuous risk of evaluation, the requirements are complicated and need continuous clarification, and where the release are frequent. If the project is a large and expensive project, any company will want to avoid or evaluating any kind of risk that can be happen. Spiral model provide a risk of evaluation every rotation or a phase to combat this problem.
Unified process, or what people usually call rational unified process, is a process framework product that constantly updates to leverage team productivity in developing a software. The rational unified process will create and maintain software system models. The RUP will guide the user on how to use an unified modeling language and is also very configurable to help the user achieve their goals. Unified process is a REST-focused process and also architecture-centric. The structure of RUP, it's from worker, there is also activities, artifacts, and then last is workflow. This is the unified processes speak. From this you can see that its section have their different main topic. Next, unified processes. Process of RUP consists in a four-phase development life cycle, including inception, elaboration and construction, and then last but not least is transition, where each cycle will address specific software development risks. In the inception phase, the emphasis is placed on business case formulation, while all the major project risks will be identified and analyzed. Risks that will affect the requirement will be prioritized. The first phase will be inception phase, second is elaboration phase, construction phase come third, and then last is transition phase. Next. In the unified process, pros and cons. Pros. Unified process development time required is less due to the reuse of the component. They also take less time required for integration, able to resolve project risks associated with client requirement changes, issues discovered early in the project, efficient use of resources. The cons of unified process is team members must be an expert in their field, and then development process is too complex and disorganized. They also have a heavyweight process. So when and why unified process use? Unified process can be used when there is not many resources available. Clients sometimes change requirement or asking for regular feedback, and high risk need to be identified fast. If the project have limited resource and risk is not comprehensible, the company may use unified process as their software development lifecycle, as unified process can reuse the resource given very efficiently and be able to identify risk in early stage of development. This is our opinion on spiral versus unified process. While spiral model often used in larger project, unified process usually used in a smaller project. Spiral model also identify any kind of risk that can happen in its rotation until there are only minimal risks. While on the unified process, identify risk in early stage of development. Spiral model also take more time, while unified process is also faster at identifying risks. Spiral model take more resources to be used, while unified process more efficient because they are reusing the resources. And last but not least, in spiral model, any employee can do their job, while unified process, they need each expert on their own division. Next.
Okay, next for the conclusion. In our opinion, the spiral model is much more useful for larger projects than integrated processes, where the project has a lot of resources and time. Meanwhile, the unified process is much more useful in a smaller form, because it can even be done on project with limited resources. Okay, so that's a presentation from us regarding the unified process versus spiral development. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Thank you for watching our presentation. If there is any question, please put it on the comment section.